Skirt.
It's cold.
Hey man, I'm gonna put the car in drive and go home. You wanna come?
Better make it quick. We gotta take the devil's anus.
That was pretty fun, right?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That was a good time.
That was so much fun. Which, I know you hate the other horror movie. I know you hate the other Thor movies, so.
Yeah, well, the other Thor movies are bad.
Yeah. They're not great.
This one was quite a bit better.
Yeah.
And honestly, generally speaking, I am not the biggest proponent of the MCU for the last few years, but this one was pretty fun.
Yeah.
This one brought me back in a little bit.
So much fun.
There were, of course, the things that Marvel always does that upset me. They still did, but what was in between was pretty tight.
Yeah.
There was a lot of really cool stuff in this.
Yeah. So much fun.
What was like your favorite part?
There's a lot. I mean, the action is really cool in this one. The movie was gorgeous.
It looked great.
Yeah. There's a couple times where CGI was a little bit too much, like the main Gila.
Anytime she fought, it was rubber band man CGI.
There was some CGI mess there, but that Thor scene especially, where he's all lightening up and Immigrant Song's playing.
At the end on the Bifrost.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. That shot, and I think they showed it in the trailer, but
They don't. And then they show part of it, but
when he jumps down on the bridge,
yeah,
and he's lightninged up, and he looks up, and he's got it coming out of his eyeballs.
Yeah.
And the was playing.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was in my seat going like, oh, let's go.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So the action was really cool. Again, looked great. It was really funny. It had a lot of comedy.
There were okay, so you mentioned the action first. This was, I think, better action than what we've seen in Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I think they chopped it up a lot less. That's always my big problem, is they cut so damn much you can't see what's going on. This was better at that, I thought.
Well, I think that's because there's no hand-to-hand stuff going on.
Right.
And that's a lot of the times when we're seeing choppy stuff is when you see like Black Widow going, or like Hawkeye going, Captain America going. But with Thor, there's no hand-to-hand. It's swords and just lightning and stuff.
Right, and that's another thing that I liked about this better than most is, you know, all these superpowers are flying around and stuff, and then they just punch each other until one punches the other one too hard. You know, and so this, even though a lot of the fighting was, I would still call it hand-to-hand, even though there's swords and stuff.
Yeah. It
was done creatively. Like, the fight choreo was pretty good, and then Hela would shoot out her beam things, which was badass.
Yeah.
She'd shoot those things out, and he'd be slinging lightning, or like the Hulk fight where they're swinging hammers and stuff. I thought they were more creative than they typically are with the fighting in this one, and I appreciated that in a major way. Hela's spike things that she throws.
Yeah.
She was. I liked her as a villain. Did you like her?
See, I thought so because like with her, she's really like they made her a really strong villain, which is good. But it didn't feel like she was the main villain throughout most of it.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the end, you know, that like she took over Asgard pretty quick, and then it was just like, wait till Thor shows up.
The problem that they had with this, with her, I agree with you, is they set her up really nicely. She's in the first act or whatever, and is pretty cool. Kind of takes over and beats them and stuff, and then they go away from it for so long.
Yeah.
There's probably an hour straight where she's not on screen.
Yeah.
And so you kind of forget about her, and then they come back, and it's really just the ending. So I totally get what you're saying. But the scenes where she was in, I thought were pretty tight.
Yeah, I liked her.
You mentioned the humor too, and I was digging most of it.
Yeah.
You could definitely tell they went out of their way to make this funnier.
Yeah.
And most of the time I was on board. Where I kind of roll my eyes is like the butt jokes and the dick jokes. Yeah. Like, come on. Like, I get that a lot of the audience that goes, these are kids. But you don't have to spoon feed us humor. You know, like Hulk's got to get out of the tub, and you got to go, oh, naked Hulk. Oh man, weird. Like, come on, man, seriously. And then the portal called the Devil's Anus. Are you kidding me? those are the couple things especially where I was just like, come on. But most of the time, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with the Devil's Anus thing.
Well, I know you loved it. You love butthole humor.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially Hulk. Hulk was hilarious.
He was funny. I do wish, I wish they hadn't done that to Hulk. I don't like Hulk being the comedic person, you know? I like Hulk smash and Hulk dangerous. But, like, Hulk eating squash is, like...
I think that's boring.
Well, he's just not meant to be a character. He's a thing, right? And so, when you make him a character and you make him talk this, bad guy, Hulk sad. Like, those scenes where they were kind of having their back and forth, I was kind of just like, come on, guys, let's go, because I'm sick of this. I didn't dig the Hulk in this, except for when he was fighting.
So what'd you think of, like, Bruce Banner?
He was fine, except kind of the same thing, where he's, like, kind of dumb Bruce Banner. You know, I that stuff just doesn't jive with me. I don't like a dumb character just for the sake of him being dumb, and we're supposed to laugh. I don't know. I just wasn't, the whole Hulk and Banner thing just I just didn't get down with it as much as I think a lot of the crowd that was in the theater with us.
I liked him a lot. I don't think Bruce Banner was meant to be dumb. I think he was, he had been Hulk for 2 years, so he had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, no, I get the justification, but he's just like...
He's been a charismatic character so far in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're playing as dumb at all. I think they were playing him as he was really out of his element, and he had no idea he was trying to catch up, and his brain was all melted for being Hulk and all that. So.
I get all that, and I get the explanation of it. I don't know, it just didn't land with me. And he's like, oh, I'm just like Tony Stark. I'm Tony Stark. I was like, all right, man, come on, just chill out. I don't know. I just didn't like that choice.
The way you keep talking sounds like you hated this movie.
No, that was so the Hulk was the thing I didn't like the most.
Really?
The Hulk and the couple butthole jokes. Almost everything else I actually did like. More than I typically do Marvel movies, at least. I really dug Thor himself in this. Yeah. I thought Thor's never really been an entire character, and I feel like he is now. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't dig him in this?
I liked him, but I wouldn't say he's an entire character. I don't think he's super deep. But I mean, they've completely switched him from serious to comedic, which he was not comedic at all until probably Avengers 2. So
yeah.
He was the most serious character until probably Avengers 2. So I mean, he's basically, and I like him. I like that he's not, serious anymore. But I wouldn't say he's a complete character.
I really liked, probably my favorite part of this was Valkyrie. She was, I think, a really cool addition, and I hope she's going to be around for more movies.
Yeah.
But I really love that actress, Tessa Thompson. She can get it. And she was cool. She had the whole drunk thing, which was kind of cool, and then she's this badass fighter, which was also cool, and she's pretty funny. Yeah. And she just, like, the thing I've always liked about, one of the few things I've always liked about Hulk was he has fun when he's fighting. He's like laughing and stuff when he kills a guy, and she had that. Yeah. And so I really dug that about getting to see her fight and be a character and stuff. And so I dug her a lot.
Yeah, she's definitely cool.
What else did you have for pros?
Craig. Or Korg or whatever his name is. He was hilarious. I want him in every movie.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
He was so dry.
I think, that was the thing about him, is everything was just so matter of fact. All this spectacular stuff is going on around him, and he's just like, hey, man.
Yeah. Okay. I killed this bug thing.
He stepped on his friend.
Yeah.
He's like, I feel so sorry about it. I've just been carrying him around. Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah.
I liked, a lot of the side bit characters were cool. I liked Jeff Goldblum as the Grandmaster. Basically just being Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
He didn't really do much acting, but he was still entertaining. Craig, you mentioned. At first, I really hated the Karl Urban character. What was his name? It was some really evil sounding name. He's the guy that became the executioner.
Okay,
Scourge.
Yeah, some shit like
I
that.
really hated him in that first scene where he's like talking to those chicks or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he started to get a little more interesting to me, and then I liked his ending. It was pretty cool. When he's got Dez and Troy.
Yeah.
That was hysterical to me. So he came around to me. I didn't like him initially. But I think all the new additions were pretty good, I thought, and served a good purpose.
Yeah.
Also, we got Heimdall back. Heimdall he's badass.
Yeah.
I could watch him. I wish Heimdall would get his own movie. He's like...
I don't know if he'd carry his own movie, but...
Yeah, probably not. He's just really cool.
One thing I did find unnecessary was the Doctor Strange bit.
Yeah, that was a total tack on.
Yeah. I understand they had to get to Odin, but they didn't need to do it through Doctor Strange. I don't know.
Yeah, it was really just we gotta find a way to get Doctor Strange. And then it just went on for so long. It was like a 4.5 minute scene that could have been done in 30 seconds. You know? Yeah, I agree with you there for sure.
He's got some yellow gloves going on now. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I guess they are.
He looks exactly like the...
Oh, he's full on Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he looks like exactly... If you open up the comic book, that's what he looks like. A couple of random questions. So the planet's destroyed, right? The Tesseract is blown up, which that's a stone in there, isn't there?
There's no way that Loki doesn't have the Tesseract on him.
Oh, that's right. He didn't look at it.
He's definitely got it, and he is out.
Yep.
He's got it, and that's probably why. I'm assuming that was Thanos' ship in the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
It's probably why he's showing up, is because he knows they've got it. And then I don't know what'll happen. But yeah, Loki's definitely got the Tesseract off the planet for sure. So, this is a weird point about the Immigrant song. I watched a video on YouTube a while back, and it was about the Wonder Woman theme. You know, the... It gets everyone super hyped. That song has a sequence of notes in it. That's the exact same from the Immigrant song.
Yeah.
And that video that I watched talked about that specifically and said the Immigrant song is another example of one that uses this exact sequence of notes that, for whatever reason, scientifically gets a person hyped. And so I don't know if they knew that and then put the song in there or what, but it was pretty tight.
Yeah.
Some of the shots in this were cool when they went to slow-mo, and you'd get like a wide view of like Scourge with Dez and Troy. He's on top of that little mound and he's shooting all those guys, and then there's the slow-mo where Hela is taking out all the Valkyries. I just thought they used slow-mo pretty well in general. There were some cool shots, and they had a cool way of showing depth that I thought would have been, so we only saw it in 2D, but I think in 3D this would be really cool to see.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, I did notice at least a couple very blatant 3D money shots where like something's coming right at you.
Yeah.
One was one of Hela's spikes coming straight at your head for no reason. And then the big fire guy swinging his sword, swings it straight out at the screen, and then they cut away to something.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, maybe some shots for those of us who aren't in 3D would have been cool. So do you have, how does this compare to like some of the recent Marvel that you've seen? Is this right up there?
I think I like it better. Really, I mean, I think it's probably my favorite one in a while. I guess what are some more recent ones? Guardians 2, I like it better than that.
Spider-Man?
Ooh, yeah, I like Spider-Man more.
Okay, yeah, I had one of these loaded up if you said this was better than Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's definitely better.
Yeah.
But this one's still tight.
Yeah. It's hard to, for me, I don't know if I even, like, I do include Spider-Man in it, but that still seems like a Sony.
Still seems weird, yeah.
But if I'm just thinking straight up, MCU, legitimate MCU movies, it's probably my favorite since Ant-Man, I would say.
So you'd put it higher than, like, Civil War, for example?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do easily.
Yeah.
Civil War, upon repeated viewings, not so great.
Yeah.
And of course, this is just the first time I've seen Thor, but I think it'll hold up better than some of the other ones that we've seen. So final thoughts, what do you think overall?
A lot of fun. Too much fun.
Too much. I ain't never had too much fun. You know that song?
No, I don't.
It's pretty good. You should look it up.
It's weird.
I think you're right, though. Top to bottom, it really was just fun all the way.
Yeah.
It never really went for... I think most of these movies have a time when they want you to cry for some reason.
Yeah.
And this never really went for that. And I thought it was better for it.
Yeah.
They really just steered into the whole, let's just enjoy ourselves here.
Yeah.
You know?
And the action was awesome. Funny. Cool looking. Excited to see this in 4K. But no, it was a lot of fun. One of the more enjoyable ones, superhero movies in a while.
I would say so. I think it really did check all the boxes. Like I said, there were a couple things I didn't like about it, but in general, like, it had everything you want in a superhero movie, right? It had some funny jokes, it had some good action, and for me, it had a bunch of, like, money shots. And I live for that, like, all the slow-mos and everything, like, that's what I dig. And so, yeah, this was really tight. I think that it's got me feeling better about Marvel going forward than I have lately.
Yeah.
So that's all good news.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited to see Justice League carry over the same tone in a couple weeks.
Here's hoping. Somehow. I don't have as much faith in that.
No, I don't think it'll be as funny. Or as enjoyable. Or as bright. That movie's going to be way more darker.
Yeah, there's not going to be as much yellow in this one.